This story begins with one individual, an individual with unrivaled power, something that could kill even the strongest monsters of this world, a calamity named Angel Kilelr. 100 years ago, the Angel Kilelr was born, genetically to be the strongest living being on the planet and maybe even the universe. Yet its reign only lasted 10 years, as the killer then disappeared seemingly out of nowhere, no traces. No DNA, nothing. Many after his appearance had tried to replicate such a creature's strength, all failing. 30% of the world's population is born with meta abilities or latent genes. The Angel Kilelr is believed to have 8 different abilities. This seems to be almost impossible, yet he is recorded to be the individual with the most powers. What happens when another anomaly is born? You're about to find out in Project Angel Kilelr, Season 1, Episode 1, Spider Web. In the mountains of Evershid City, America, sits a 16-year-old kid named Kyojiro Takagami. The year is 2072, and Kyojiro had been orphaned by a very dangerous and power criminal, claimed to be in the top 5 most powerful supers of all time. The morning was quiet, as then an alarm blared in his ear. Kyo launched up, disabling his alarm clock and rubbing his eyes. Wonder what boss has for us today. Hopefully another beast hunt, those are always fun. Kyo's tone sounded monotone and lifeless, as he then stepped to the door in front of him, sliding it open, then making his way through the hallways and into the main room of the large base he was in. This place was called the Puppeterium. Sitting directly opposite to where Kyo was standing, she had bright blown hair and was drinking tea. She set it down when Kyo entered. "Oh, you're awake. How's my superstar today? Good, I hope." She poured out another cup for Kyo. "A tea." She raised it up. Kyo declined. "Where's the boss, New Year? Also, how did you even get tea here? It's not like you could go out in public as the second in command of the string gang." New Year hadn't answered the question before the boss stepped in. String himself. The name was tacky, yet he was one of the most powerful crime overlords in the city. "I heard that you had called for me. The vibrations traveled to my quarters. What is required?" Kyo bowed to String, then stood up. "Today is my first mission, correct? I wish to begin preparation." Not even a hello or good morning. "Your first mission is a solo mission. You will be sent undercover. Do not get caught. But if you do, prepare to kill whoever has caught you. You will be found eventually, and we can't keep that a secret, yet we can delay the inevitable. The item you're stealing is located behind a 6-inch thick bulletproof casing in the Evershid Museum. With your shadow stepping abilities, I have no doubt you can slip through security." Narrator: the shadow stepping ability is the innate properties to create an afterimage on shadows, then be able to swap with that after image at certain points. It was useful in getting in and out of places. Leave at around midnight. The guards will most likely be the only ones there. Return with the item and then you would be a full-fledged member. I wish you luck, brother. Although Kyo and String were not blood-related, it was like they were. They had bonded over both of their losses and treat each other now as siblings. Kyo nodded, then walking down the hallway, bumping into a girl roughly the same age, yet she had already taken the test and is rank 9 in the string gang. Her name was Jane, no flair. Just Jane. "Where are you going in such a rush? It's literally like still morning, you shouldn't be running." Her hair was shifting as then snakes formed, woven with her locks. Her hair was a very dark gray, almost block, with yellow, purple, and pink highlights. She was a part of a podcast the string gang hosts with another member. "I have work to be done." This was all he replied, running past her. "Rude." Jane then stuck her tongue out, turning and walking into the main room. Kyo ran past multiple rooms until he stopped. A very bright light shined out into the hallway, almost blinding. After it disappeared, Kyo peeked inside. It was the 7th strongest member. SL is what they called her. Her body was made of a very bright light that was hard to look at. SL nodded to Kyo as he nodded back. He then kept moving until he reached his room. He slammed the door behind him, then looked in front of him. Sitting on a frame was a mask and a katana. The only thing left of his parents. He walked to the mask, turning it around. Ancestors, give me your guidance. This is the time it will be needed the most. He then placed on his ask, sheathed the katana. Then opened his cabinet, pulling out his armor and placing it on. He was a Ronin, a trained assassin. He would not fail his friends. Kyle then stepped out of the room, looking around and then walking to do training. 17 hours passed. It was midnight, the city still bustling with people and cars. Yet the museum was almost empty. Nobody except a few security guards were inside. Kyle slipped in through the ceiling, swapping with his shadow step. Grabbing a guard walking by and snapping their neck, a crunch was heard and then silenced. Kyle dragged the body into the corner, then began moving, shadows stepping out of view from the cameras and destroying the majority. He continued to make it through the museum, taking out guards and hiding from view of the cameras until he reached his goal. Remnants of a cursed eye, it was shattered into pieces but could be rebuilt. Kyle used his shadow step to form a hand, grabbing the fragment, inverted the hand, and then dropping it into his own palm. For a difficult heist, this is going surprisingly well. Just as he said that, the alarm blared and he began running. There must have been a pressure system in place for thieves. He made a mistake, and he may pay for it. Kyle began running to the doors, yet heroes were quick with dispatching. Standing at the door was a guy slightly older than him in a plain black suit and an earpiece. I am assuming you're not a guard. Narrator, the guy said, now pushing himself off the door frame, walking inside. Was it that obvious from my attire? Narrator, Kyle pulled out a katana. A single fight was about to change the entire course of these two's lives. Forever.